Multiple tornadoes left some people in central Alabama with nothing on March 25th, others with injuries, even some fatalities. Meteorologist Caroline Carithers spoke to members of the National Weather Service today. Unfortunately, it appears central Alabama had the perfect setup, so to speak, for tornadoes, Caroline.
Yeah, the perfect storm for sure. So the difficult part about forecasting severe weather and tornadoes specifically is that not only do you have to have all the ingredients, you have to have moisture, you have to have lift, you have to have instability as well as wind shear. You have to have all of that,
And they did.
But they also have to be in perfect balance. You have to have the right amount of each of those, and that's why it's such a fine line. That's why that day we didn't get anything. The only ingredient that we didn't have enough of was lift. And so it's such a fine line forecasting this severe weather. And unfortunately, on March 25th, that environment was just to our north in central Alabama. And in addition to that, the environment was so much so that individual thunderstorms were able to form, and they weren't really competing with anything. There wasn't a bunch of showers around that were taking up the environment. It was just those individual thunderstorms, and they were just able to take right off.
They were popping, yeah. How many tornadoes are confirmed now by the National Weather Service?
So I just checked again because they are not officially done with surveys, but they're getting much closer. 11 confirmed tornadoes in the state of Alabama for March 25th. 4 EF3 tornadoes, 3 EF2 tornadoes, 3 EF1 tornadoes, and then 1 EF0. And of course, those surveys are still ongoing.
All in central Alabama?
All in central Alabama.
That doesn't sound common to have that many.
Well, high-risk days from the Storm Prediction Center are already not that common, but it's not unprecedented with our spring severe weather season, because we get spring severe weather pretty much every year. We have a whole season, and it's not super uncommon, but it's not super common.
Even tornadoes of that severity?
Yeah, and like I said, it's those high-risk days that are just kind of uncertain, and they're not common for sure.
Okay, and Caroline, Ed said that, we have severe weather coming tomorrow. Are you expecting anything like this?
We're not expecting anything like this. I mean, for this environment, we actually had 3 in central Alabama on March 25th. We had 3 supercells, so those are those individual thunderstorms that were long track and just took off. Now, one of those started in northern Hale County and traveled 200 miles across the entire state of Alabama and dropped 3 EF3 tornadoes. And then the second one started near Demopolis, and it moved to the northeast, and its path, the storm's path, was 100 miles. And it dropped that tornado that was 80 miles long. That was on the ground for 80 miles.
What is a typical path? How long?
Oh, it just depends where you are.
Okay.
For here, we typically don't get those long tracks. It's mainly out west. We typically get those spin up tornadoes that don't last very long. So 80 miles is definitely long for the state of Alabama and for that area. But then the third one actually started just north of us in Choctaw County and went all the way to Noonan, Georgia, and dropped 3 EF2 tornadoes in the state of Alabama and then 1 EF4 in Georgia. So it was just really those 3 supercell individual storms that tracked for so many miles, and they dropped many tornadoes.
And we want to help everybody in central Alabama, so we are hosting a telethon all day Thursday in every newscast to raise money to benefit those impacted by these storms, and we will have numbers so you can call in and donate.